Cycles. You may not know this, but the very existence of our universe depends on these seemingly minute concepts. Yet, as we take a closer look, the concept is not very minute at all. With cycles, we are able to thrive, but without them, our Earth would be nothing more than a gigantic rock mass floating about the universe. Thankfully, the big guy upstairs is a whole lot smarter than what we give him credit for. What is this extraordinary concept of cycles all about? Well, let's look at what cycle means. Cycle is defined as a series of events that are regularly repeated in the same order. Thanks, Siri.
My pleasure, as always.
Now let's take a look at the most well-known cycle. Can you think of what it is? You guessed it, it's the circle of life or life cycle. We enter the world as babies, we go through stages of growth, live our lives the best we can, and eventually die, as all living things do. This is called the life cycle. Life doesn't stop when we do. Babies are still being born and others are passing away. In scientific terms, we're biotic creatures. But what does this mean exactly? Well, we got a prestigious scientist from a prestigious university to tell us all about it. Let's go. We are biotic creatures, and if we break down the word, bio means life. So biotic refers to living components of an ecosystem. Biotic creatures are anything from humans to animals, bugs, fish, plants, fungus, or bacteria. All of these components are living, go through cycles, and are biotic components of our ecosystem. We can find evidence of such cycles by studying the cycles themselves, as all good scientists should do. For example, we have the butterfly. It starts as a caterpillar, it eats leaves, grows bigger, and then creates a cocoon with which it will metamorphosize into a butterfly. Plants, bacteria, and fungus all have unique life cycle characteristics of their own. Plants carry on life through pollination, bacteria through making genetic copies of itself, and fungus through germination. Pretty bird, pretty bird. Thanks, really smart scientists. So basically, if life doesn't go through cycles, life itself would cease to exist. Or we would have a bunch of extremely old people roaming around. Yikes.
Well, what's wrong with old people?
I told you not to interrupt me when I'm making a video.
Do you still want the peanut butter cookies I was making you?
Yes, I still want the peanut butter cookies.
No need to apologize. Okay, bye-bye. I love you. What is it? Wait, is that the camera?
That's the camera.
That's a...
Okay, bye.
Oh, okay, I'll leave.
Did you know that even our Earth goes through a series of cycles using abiotic components, which help the biotic components thrive on Earth? The A in abiotic means not, so abiotic components are non-living. So without them, we could not exist. These components within the cycles are called biogeochemical cycles. These abiotic elements help us produce the energy, breathe in consumable air, and even supply us the ever-needed H2O. One of the most common cycles produced by abiotic components is the water cycle. Is it not crazy that over the past however many thousands of years humans have been on this earth, they have not depleted the Earth's water source? It's because water is a renewable resource, thanks to the water cycle. Gotta go. Water evaporates into the air, where it then condensates into clouds, and the clouds let the water loose into precipitation. The water cycle is more complex than just those three elements, but that's a story for another day. There are also other abiotic cycles out there. One such cycle is called the carbon-oxygen cycle, as you can see here. We need to breathe in oxygen in order to survive. And when we breathe out, we release carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is plants' favorite meal. Plants use energy from the sun in order to create that carbon dioxide frappuccino into livable, breathable oxygen. Let's not forget about the nitrogen cycle. You see, the nitrogen cycle is one of the more complex cycles. See, basically, bacteria takes nitrogen from our air and through a process called nitrogen fixation creates compounds that are useful for living things. Oh, bacteria is so good to us. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for joining us on this great cycle of life. Like they had a choice.